Hello, you guys. Hello, you guys. How are you guys? Let me put up my housekeeping announcement and we are going to be ready to go. How is everybody? I hope everybody is doing good. I hope everybody had a good January. I hope everyone has a good February. I hope everyone's reading is going well. Are we keeping our reading goals? I feel like on Goodreads and on all the little bookish places, everybody had all of these reading goals. Everybody's goal is to read like X number of books. My reading goal mostly this year is to just read like different types of books. I think like I feel like I stuck to like a really small window of the type of books I read last year. So I kind of want to like branch out. Now, as you can see from my channel, branching out is not really working for me. I read The Wedding People, and I cannot believe that book made so many people's best books of the year last year. So it's not looking good. Me reading 2024 releases that I missed last year is not looking good. You guys' taste is so questionable to me. But hey, what can I do? What can I do? But how is you guys reading going? You guys, if you don't follow me on Patreon, I had the worst January that has ever January. January is always long and miserable. I think we all can agree January usually hits on misery. My January was even worse than like it should have been. You guys, I started the new year. Like I'm telling you, we wasn't even a full foot into the new year. And I was puking my brains out. I was so sick the first week of January. I've never been that sick in my life. This is like the worst sickness I've ever had in my life. And so like you had that, and then like the month just got worse and worse. You had Trump get elected. You had everything that Trump was doing with his executive orders. You had Beyonce postponing her announcement. It was like everything that could go wrong, which is going wrong day by day by day by day. And January was just god awful. The books that I read in January were the only things keeping me afloat as a person because it was so bad. So Beyonce announcing a tour last night to kick off February 1st really just is what I needed, that this month is going to go a little bit better. Like, okay, things are looking the other way. As far as Grammys today, I know we here for the book club, but we ain't talked in 2 months. So let me tell you, as far as Grammys go, I'm deciding to not care. I've decided to not care about the Grammys. I want Beyonce to stop caring about the Grammys. I feel like when Beyonce lost for Lemonade, I told myself I was going to stop caring about the Grammys, but I was a youth. I was young. I was foolish. And so like, I think Renaissance was officially like, Kenya, the club has turned on the lights. It's time to go home. I don't care about the Grammys. I don't even think I might even go to the movies tonight. I might even go to the movies tonight and might not even like watch it. I do not care. Yes, Beyonce is nominated for what, 11 nominations. She can win all of them. She can win none of them. I don't give a good goddamn, even though I adore Cowboy Carter. The more I sit with Cowboy Carter, the more I adore that album. I think it's so good. And I think Yanka should get her shit. But like, I'm not doing this within the night. I'm not doing this within the night. They put that thing together every single year just to play in Beyonce face, just to play in Beyonce black ass face. If I was to care, I would like Beyonce and Miley Cyrus to win a Grammy together for Two Most Wanted. That would be cool. Will it happen? Who knows? Who knows? That's the thing. There's too many. If I were to care, I can't believe I'm like talking about this in the book club. But I didn't make a Patreon video about it. So like I have thoughts. If I were to care, I like that you could care, like, is Beyonce gonna win her country categories? Maybe. Like, I don't care. I do not care. Like, we know like country music is racist, so like if she were to win them, great, first black woman to win best country album. Will they give it to her? Who knows? Like, they're nasty. Like, they literally put this award ceremony together to come up with new and nasty, sinister ways to play in Beyonce's face. Like, she's done something to them. I don't know. They have something against that woman so bad, and so I just don't even like playing these games with them. I'm not playing it. I am revving up for the Cowboy Carter tour. That is what I am going to do. I've heard the whispers that Beyonce and Blue Ivy are going to be on the cover of February Vogue. So hopefully that, if that's true, hopefully that comes out tomorrow. Hopefully we start eating. I want a Cowboy Carter tour, Super Bowl, a commercial. I want a Cowboy Carter Super Bowl commercial next Sunday. That'll be nice. That's what I'm worried about. The Grammys is just not on my list of worries. And then as far as the other girls, so if I take Beyonce out of all of this stuff and make my predictions, here's my Grammy prediction since we here. Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, is going to win Album of the Year. Record of the Year is going to go to, there's like a wild Beatles nomination here. They might just give it to the Beatles and tell everybody to shut the fuck up. If it doesn't go to the Beatles, it is going to go to Kendrick Lamar with Not Like Us. Song of the Year, this is the award. Literally, somebody could put a gun to my head and I'd be like, who do you think is going to win this award? And I would confidently say this. Billie Eilish is going to win for Birds of a Feather for Song of the Year. Best Pop Vocal Album is going to go to Best Pop Vocal Performance, it's going to go to Sabrina Carpenter for Espresso. Best Pop Vocal Album is if Billie Eilish wins Best Pop Vocal Album, she's definitely going to win Album of the Year. So it'll go to Billie Eilish for Hit Me Hard and Soft. Chappell Roan is going to win Best New Artist. Anything else that's like really out there? I'm hoping something I am going to care about. I want Doechii to win the rap categories that she is in. She has a hard time with Kendrick Lamar, and they love to give Eminem shit. Eminem is nominated for Best Rap Album. I'm hoping they completely ignore Eminem and they give it to Doechii. And I want Doechii to win one of those rap categories, but Kendrick Lamar would Not Like Us is just stinking up the joint. So I don't think Not Like Us is not a bad song, by the way. It's stinking up the joint. So those are my Grammy prediction as to what will happen. Beyonce, what if I'm sitting here like, what do I think for sure they're going to give Beyonce? I don't know. Like I said, they playing her. What can I say? What do I want the most? If I'm a person who wants the most, sure, I'll take the Album of the Year. At this point, I don't know what it proves. And that's the thing about why am I doing this? Because I didn't make a Patreon video. I should have made the damn Patreon video, and I wouldn't have this much to talk about. We're gonna get into the book in just a second, but I didn't make the Patreon video, and I'm not. Well, I'll probably talk about the Grammys tomorrow on Patreon. If you follow me on Patreon, I'll talk about the outcome. But I didn't make a predictions video. So if Beyonce were to win Album of the Year tonight, which most people have her expected to win, but that means nothing. Beyonce was expected to win for Self-Titled. You guys actually know the biggest snub Beyonce actually got at the Grammys was her actually losing for I Am Sasha Fierce. A lot of people don't like I Am Sasha Fierce as an album, so people don't really understand actually. Beyonce won 6 Grammys that night, which tied the record for the most Grammys won by a woman in a single night. And everyone thought she was going to win Album of the Year that year, and they gave it to Taylor Swift. We'll talk about that at another time why they did that. But that's actually her first snub. Like, she should have won. She won the most Grammys that night. She should have won there. And then obviously with Self-Titled, just purely on Self-Titled being a cultural reset, she should have won. They gave it to Beck. So that's twice they played in her face. Third time they played in her face with Lemonade. This is actually the one time I never thought Beyonce was going to win it. 25 was just a huge album. Adele was on her comeback, and I never thought she was going to win for Lemonade. That's like the one time where she won. I never thought she was going to win, weirdly. Renaissance, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought they was going to give Bianca her shit for Renaissance because who else? And then Harry's House, which if you watch my Grammy predictions back then, I actually said Harry House was a dark horse. I should have shut my fucking mouth. So this is 4 times they played in her face. Do I not expect a 5th? Do I not expect a 5th? Another time that Beyonce's face has also been played in. Beyonce should have been able to be nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys when Crazy in Love came out, and they just didn't let her. There's just Lauryn Hill is another one who was able to be nominated for Best New. They back in the day, Best New Artist as a category has always been really bizarre. That's why when people are so shocked that Sabrina Carpenter with 7 goddamn albums is sitting in Best New Artist, I'm like, you guys, Best New Artist has always been a bizarre ass category. They come up with rules like all the time, but Beyonce wasn't able to be nominated for Best New Artist for when she put out Dangerously in Love and when Crazy in Love was a smash. And so that's another time they played in her goddamn face. Destiny's Child does not have enough Grammys. Destiny's Child should have 10 Grammys. Destiny's Child should have 10 Grammys. They don't. B-Day only won 2 Grammys? Just foolishness that this award ceremony is put together just to play in Beyonce's beautiful face. And I'm not doing it with them this year. I've decided I am not doing it with them this year. And that was 10 minutes of Kenya talking about the Grammys. And this is the real gag. This is the, if you've been a Beyonce fan for as long as I've been a Beyonce fan, this is actually the moment that you should have realized, like, oh, they have a vendetta against Beyonce. Like, it's kind of like how Bruno Mars won for 24 Karat Magic. Like, sometimes they just award the album that's kind of just been the biggest album of the year. Like, this person just had the best year. Beyonce with I Am Sasha Fierce. She had Halo and Single Ladies were the two of the biggest hits of the 2010s. And she put And If I Were a Boy, and she put them out all in the same damn year. Like, she should have just got it. Like any other artist, if a white artist would have put out I Am Sasha Fierce, there's no world in which they would have lost album of the year. And it was this, I remember being a kid and being like, that's fucking weird. Like, it was just weird. I didn't care because like I didn't really like put that as a kid. I really didn't understand the importance that much of the Grammys. But I remember sitting at home being like, that's fucking weird. Like, Beyonce has had the biggest year. Like, and so like, and then this would also start the like gravy train of Taylor Swift, of just giving Taylor Swift awards to give Taylor Swift awards. No tea, no shade. Like, just think about the fact that like Taylor Swift won album of the year last year for Midnight. They just give people stuff to give people stuff. Like, Taylor Swift has paid her dues. Taylor Swift had a big year. So like Taylor Swift got it for Midnight. It's just like a thing that is. Taylor Swift put out an album. So obviously she's probably gonna win album of the year. And it's the fact that when Yanka gonna get hers? When is Yanka gonna get, what is this idea that Beyonce needs to pay the fucking piper? Like, be fucking for real. And so I just don't want to do this for them. And then I don't care about anybody who's performing. Like, I don't think nobody who's on the performance list except for Doechii is like a good performer. No tea, no shade to the girls, but like, has any of the people who's on the performance list done a performance that you just needed to see again, or that you just needed to see in real time? No. So like, now there is a special guest, and there is a Prince tribute. If Beyonce comes in 2 steps for the Prince tribute, I'm gonna regret all of this. I'm gonna regret all of not watching, right? So if Beyonce and Miley Cyrus perform 2 Most Wanted, I'm gonna regret all of this. And that's the problem. I don't want to live in just like, I don't know. I just can't let the Grammys keep playing them. How long are me and Beyonce gonna let the Grammys keep playing in our fucking face? How long are we gonna keep letting it happen? At some point, we gotta stand up. At some point, we gotta stand up and say that these white people awards don't matter. But then you get the people who are just like, Beyonce is the most Grammy awarded person of all time. Beyonce is going to die being the most Grammy. No one's ever going to be able to win more Grammys than Beyonce. If Beyonce wins 2 Grammys tonight, that just puts her lead even further. Like, Beyonce will always be the most Grammy awarded person just because the music she makes. She's gonna be winning Grammys her whole life. So like, you have people who say that like Beyonce has 32 Grammys. Like, what do you mean the Grammys don't like her? They give her the Negro Awards, which I take the Negro Awards, but that's what they do. So anyways, I want Miley and Beyonce to win for 2 Most Wanted. And if they don't, I think that's a pre-show award. So it's not even like I can see them win it in person. I think they're going to announce that in the pre-show. So like, I don't even get to see them come on stage and get it. So I don't even care that much. Anyways, Love in a Winter Wonderland. This is the book that we read for January. I'm going to tell you guys what this book is about. And if you read this book, down below, tell me your rating. I'm going to start by telling you my rating because I think I need to tell you my rating before I get into my notes. So in this book, we are in London. I call anything that's not like anything in the UK is London to me. Anything in the UK is London. If you are in, I don't even care. Like, if you are in Ireland, anything in the UK, you are in London to me. So we are in London in this book, and we are following 2 17-year-olds. Now, in America, if you are 17, more than likely you're still in high school. But I guess the way this works, if you are 17, you're college aged. And they go to college together. And we are starting with this boy named Trey. Trey works at his parents' bookstore. They have a bookstore that's been in their family for a few generations. And the bookstore is not doing well. There's the developer who wants to buy them out. And Trey, even though he doesn't like working at this bookstore, he has other dreams and aspirations for himself that's not working at this bookstore for the rest of his life. He still like wants this bookstore to thrive because he knows what it means to his family. So he's decided like he is going to try to save the bookstore. That moves us to this girl named Ariel. Ariel wants to go to this expensive art school. She's really into art. Her father went to this art school. He just died of cancer at the top of the year. She wants to go to this expensive art school. So she's like, I need a side job. Well, long story short, her side job ends up being at the bookstore, the Black-owned bookstore that Trey works at, because Trey's daddy got into an accident at the bookstore, and so they need somebody to fill in for him. Trey is like the popular person at the college, and everybody like likes him. He's best friends with this guy named Bugs, and they're like really good. Like, everybody just thinks they're just like the cutest boys on the college campus, and they are dating twins. So twin sisters, obviously, you twins, you sisters, twin sisters, and one is named Blair, and one's name is Sally, whatever. Trey is dating Blair, and Blair's a bitch. Nobody likes Blair. Blair's entitled, mean, rude, and all of this stuff. And basically, Ariel and Trey are trying to save this book. Santi, thank you, Aaliyah. Santi. They're trying to save this bookstore, so they're coming together to save this bookstore. And of course, along the way, there are feelings involved, and that is love in a winter wonderland. Let's discuss this book. You guys, I'm gonna start by saying I wanted to like this book. I truly wanted to like this book, but honestly, I didn't like this book. I started off the first 50 pages being like, this is the setup for all of the type of books that I've liked in this book club. Highly Suspicious, Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl. It started off like all of those books that I really, really enjoy. You guys know I love me a cute little Black romance moment. But I just think this set me up and just dropped me, like just set me up so high and then just dropped me on the ground. I felt like this book was a bunch of broken promises. I actually had a lot of issues with this book. And then once I got to the 150 page mark, I actually like it took a lot for me to want to continue this book. So me personally, I give this book like 2.5 stars. Like it's not a offensive, but then like Monty said, there are points, and I wrote them in my notes, that I actually do kind of find a little bit like offensive and sometimes even a little bit problematic. So like I say some things aren't offensive, but like I actually didn't love. Okay, this is such good information. College in the UK is equivalent to junior and senior year in the US. Thank you so much. That makes so much more sense now. That makes so much more sense now. And that's another thing with this book. This book should have like said that, like what college is to people, because I literally thought they were at a community college. I literally thought so y'all don't call things like school. Y'all don't just call stuff school. Like we go to school. Y'all say things. So that is so interesting. So that means all the other UK books that I read, they're intentionally changing the language to make sense to me as a reader. Because this is the first time I've ever seen in a book them call college, call high school college. That means in every single book that takes place in the UK, they're intentionally like just they're just calling it high school. Like, even in Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, like they weren't calling it college. That is so, and you learn new things every goddamn day. So yeah, Megan, I agree with you, Megan. I'm with you, Megan. 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars. This book could have been fun, but it just wasn't to me. Now, why was oh, okay. This is since we in it and I already spent so much time talking about nonsense, I want to start with something that is bothering me currently in young adult books. Have you guys, I know I read more young adult than probably most of you guys do, but most young adult is written by adults, usually millennial adults at this point in time, right? So most people who are writing these young adult books are either in their late 20s, in their 30s, sometimes even in their 40s. We are at a stage in young adult writing where it is clear that the writer has no clue what kids are actually into. And every single young adult character is interested in shit that millennials are interested in. Why does a 17-year-old give a fuck about Rihanna's Loud era? I was a kid during Rihanna's Loud era, and I'm an auntie. Why would a 17-year-old, someone a decade younger to me, have any real feelings for Rihanna's Loud era? It just doesn't. That's something a millennial would be interested. Rihanna's Loud era means a lot to me. I remember Rihanna with the red clown hair. I thought she was fab. Okay, but why would that mean anything to a 17-year-old? Why would that mean? And so, like, to have your whole identity be that, I'm just like, what are 17-year-olds into today? I have a younger sister who is in college right now, and she don't give a fuck about Rihanna Loud era. So it's not like I'm removed from like younger people. I have a Gen Z sister, and the stuff that like I'm into, the Bob the Builder reference, the Bob the Builder reference. Books, the character in this book, who is 17, makes a Bob the Builder reference. And it's just like, I do not believe kids today are as in the know about older things as maybe some of us who are older. We were forced to watch cable television. We were forced to watch older things. Nowadays, that's not a thing that really has to happen. Like, you can get on social media, you can get on TikTok, YouTube, all this stuff, to where you don't have to be forced to watch a bunch of old shit. Why is a 17-year-old making a Bob the Builder reference? Like, Bob the Builder literally came, like, I was a kid when I was a youth when Bob the Builder came. I might have been 6 when Bob the Builder used to come on. So I'm supposed to believe someone, like I said, a decade younger than me remembers Bob the Builder outside of it just being like a cultural. No, I don't. I simply do not believe it. I think we're at this age where like a lot of people who are writing young adult books are not doing, like, they don't actually know what young adults are into. So they're always giving these kids personality traits to where they're either into a lot of old music. I hate to say it, but Honey and Spice, I asked that same thing when I read Honey and Spice. What were the ages of these college students in Honey and Spice? Because like, they were talking about how much Channel Orange by Frank Ocean and shit meant to them, or like certain Drake songs. And I'm like, is this current day? Because if this is current day, why do all of these references from 13 years ago mean so much to, they were like 7. They were like 5 years old, 7. Like, where they was watching Henry Danger. Like, these kids are watching Henry Danger and shit like that. Like, where are the Gravity Falls references? Even like things that may like kind of meet where millennials and Gen Z kind of meet, like the stuff in the midst, like Phineas and Ferb. There are moments in there where I think the two generations meet, but never is any of that stuff ever referenced. It's all stuff that is very, very millennial. Like, I hate to tell you, Hannah Montana is millennial. That's So Raven is millennial. Like, some of this stuff, Clifford is millennial. Caillou is millennial. All of these things that are such a part of our childhood are part of these people were like 2. These people were like 2 when this stuff was in vogue. So like, I don't get it. And I think it's lazy writing. I think it's lazy writing. Like, even the playlist that these 2 characters have are all old songs, right? Like, I know all of these songs, but like, I'm old. And a lot of us, like I said, when you millennials growing up, we were a part of culture more. Like, you had I love the 90s. I love the 80s. You watched MTV. There was just a lot of retrospective. Even on E, you had E! True Hollywood Story. So you were in the know about so many older things because you had to watch goddamn cable. But now that's not kids. So them knowing all of this older stuff, I just don't think is a thing that really like is heavy with 17. I be reading these, but like, what a 17-year-old. If you 17 in the chat, let me know, what are y'all into? But I don't just think y'all just listening to Boys to Men. I just don't think you listening to Boys to Men. I do not think you appreciate the greatness of the Destiny's Child Christmas album. Like, I'm supposed to believe 17-year-olds appreciate the greatness of the Destiny's Child Christmas album. I think you line me up a bunch of 17-year-olds. I do not think most of them can name all the members of Destiny's Child. I do not think all of them can name all the members of Destiny's Child. I think you'll meet some 17-year-olds who don't even know Beyonce was in a girl group. Some don't even know Beyonce was in a girl group, because that's how long, y'all, Destiny's Child disbanded in 2005. And 20 years ago. These kids were not even alive when Destiny's Child was a group. was a group. And so like that bothers me. Poor writing bothers me. I just think no one wants to do research into what kids are actually into. Fully agree. If you're so like my sister right now, my sister, she would know. My sister is older, Gen Z. She's in late college. So she would know. My sister loves Beyonce because I love Beyonce, right? But like she would know. But Gen Z, the people who are sitting around like at 17, 18, 19, sometimes even 20, like I've talked to you, like online, I talked to some of you guys, and it's just like we from two different generations. Like I'm an auntie, like y'all make me feel real auntie-ish, real quick. Like I'm just like, oh, we got two totally different references. We have two totally different point of references. And I'm just like, if I'm reading a young adult book and I understand every pop culture reference that these kids are making, something is wrong. Like the kids just don't care about none of this stuff. I'm just like, this is such a young adult book written for millennials. Like millennials, we gotta let our childhood go. We not in vogue no more. We not in vogue no more. I agree. I fully agree. TikTok, like going, like using Twitter. Is the youth using Twitter? Is the youth using Twitter? I think the youth uses Twitter to get like quick information. So if you're into something, so like if you watching TikTok and somebody on your TikTok getting canceled, or like if you watching something on Twitch and like there's information about a stream you watch, you'll go to Twitter to go get like quick information, like somebody made an announcement about something or somebody getting dragged about something, and it's just like, let me go on Twitter and see what people. But I don't just think people are on Twitter, like the youth are on Twitter just like scrolling all goddamn day, if you're not a stan if you are not a Gen Zer who's a stan, you are not on Twitter all goddamn day. The only people on Twitter all goddamn day is the gays, the stans, and the millennials. Like, come on. And so, like, Twitter being a big part, like, all of these things mean so much to me. Like I said, the Destiny's Child Christmas album, go listen to that song with Solange. Like, it means so much to me, okay? So much to me, but it does not mean nothing to Gen Z. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Twitter doesn't mean anything to them. Even Instagram. Is your cousin, is y'all 17-year-old cousins on Instagram? I got cousins who are Gen Z and whatever. Is some that's even a generation under that. What alpha? I can't even keep up at this point. They not on Instagram. Do they have an Instagram? Some of them, but they not on Instagram enough to where it's just like, I need to spread the word on Instagram. I need, like, the kids are just doing different things these days than what we were doing. Like Instagram meant, thank you. So I'm not losing my mind. Emily is telling me I am not losing my mind. The kids ain't on IG. IG is for the millennials. IG is for the millennials. Twitter is for the millennials, the gays, and the stans. Like, come on. I don't know. I just think it's lazy writing. And if we're gonna include like pop culture and stuff like that, there's a way to do it. But Bob the Builder, somebody born in 2000, if you're 17 in 2023, you were born in 2006. You were born in 2006. Like I said, Destiny's Child already disbanded. Destiny had already been fulfilled. They had already disbanded. Beyonce had already put out B-Day. Dreamgirls was about to come out. Like, you, like, so much pop culture. Bob the Builder already came and went. Handy Manny, do y'all remember Handy Manny that used to come on Disney? Man, I would be more willing to give you that, a good Handy Man, before I give you Bob the Builder. You guys, I barely have recognition of Bob the Builder. I remember Bob the Builder. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. I remember but Bob the Builder is not even something that's just like front of my. I don't have a lot of moments in my life watching Bob the Builder. So how the fuck would somebody who's Gen Z? And so like all of these references are odd, out to date. And the Rihanna Loud thing is just like, I think if you look somebody dead in their eye, now if you a stan, like I said, stans, the gays and the millennials, if you look at them in your eye and say, my hair is red because of Rihanna Loud, they'd be like, girl, yes, eat, slay, whatever. But if you looking at a regular other person, it's like, I dyed my hair red because Rihanna's Loud era. there's Gen Zers who are like big Swifties who don't even remember like the 1989 era of Taylor Swift. Like a lot of people who are Swifties who are like young, they definitely only really remember Reputation and Up. Like they don't remember a lot because they were kids. They were kids. They don't remember when these people really came. They don't remember like in the front of their mind Kanye West coming on stage. To me, that's part of these are core memories for me. These are core memories for me, but it ain't core memories for everybody. So my point, fact of the matter is, we got to be cleaner. We got to be cleaner. I'm crying. You definitely are like 1999. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Another thing, and I'm gonna move on because I have other shit to complain about. Another thing, yes, how much like Rihanna's mute. Rihanna to me, I love Rihanna. People think just because I love Beyonce Dion, I can't love Rihanna. I appreciate Rihanna for what Rihanna is. And Rihanna ain't put out an album, y'all, since 2016. That is 9 years. That is 9 years. That is 9 years. How much like can Rihanna, like even being a Beyonce fan, like I do not expect younger people to give a fuck about what Beyonce got going on. Beyonce is old. Beyonce is old. Rihanna is old. Like these people are treated like the legends that they are. That's how they should be treated. They should not be treated like people who are in vogue. Like they're not in vogue. Sabrina Carpenter is in vogue. Olivia Rodrigo is in vogue. But the rest of these people should be treated like there's someplace else. There's someplace, that's where they are. These people are like old people. These are aunties to them. And so it's just like, okay, like where the current references? Where the new girlies that people like where's a Meg Thee Stallion reference? Who's some more of the younger new girls? Where's a Cardi B reference? Where like what the girls really into? Because I just don't believe the girls just walking down the hallways, ooh nah nah, what's my name? Ooh nah nah, what's my name? Like I just don't think that's what's going on. Yes, sexy red glow. Like the new girl. Like I have a cousin. I literally have a cousin who is this age. Like who is, shout out to my cousin. Like she literally is this. She don't give a fuck about Beyonce. I can talk about Beyonce and Rihanna till I'm blue in the face. And she'll just look at me and be like, that is cute for you, auntie. I'm not even her auntie. And she would say, that's cute for you, auntie. Like, I do not give a fuck that Beyonce is going on tour. I do not give a fuck that Rihanna ain't put out an album in 9 years. Like, that ain't got shit to do with her. I look back at 2016, even when Rihanna, and I'm like, she was little. I remember her being little in 2016 because I was in college. And I remember her being a little child. Like, this stuff don't mean shit. They don't remember Rihanna in her heyday. They don't remember when Rihanna opened the VMAs with Disturbia. They don't remember that. Can you remember that? They don't remember Rihanna opened the VMAs with Disturbia. I do though. Anyways, let's move on. I agree. Yes, selling ass on IG. Let's move on to the fact that another thing that I was talking about that's a little bit problematic to me. They brought up Ariel clearly having an eating disorder, and it's not brought up well. Like, what does this book want us to take from Ariel's clear eating disorder? So the thing in the book is that Ariel used to be fat. Ariel has lost weight, so now I guess you will put her in the thick category. She's just thick. And whenever Ariel is having a bad day, she binge eats. And the book frames it as if like her eating, she shouldn't be doing this. Like, okay, you're having a bad day and you shouldn't be binge eating. And when your life is going right, you know how to minimize your eating. And I'm just like, are we going to have something in here where we discuss that there's a fluidity to eating? That there's a fluidity, like her life isn't going well when she's like, just because she's eating salads. Like we shouldn't tell people that when they monitor their eating and when they are hyper aware of what they're eating, when they're cautious of what they're eating, when they're eating the right foods, that means they're in a good headspace. Like, that's not what we should be teaching them. And we also shouldn't be teaching them that, like, if they have a bad day and they want to go veg out on McDonald's and they want to eat all of this type of food, like, you need to get your life right because something is wrong. Like, it felt like Ariel was like in this fear constantly of putting on weight. And I was waiting for the commentary. I was waiting for the commentary that that's no way to live. Both ways are no way. There's a like some you like some, we all want to just eat a bunch of food some days. We all sometimes just want to sit on the couch and eat a bunch of food. And that's just a part of life. Like, that's just a part of life. And then there's also days where many people want to diet, and that's a part of some people's lives as well. And so where was the conversation in the book about like the fluidity of just eating? Like, just we're all on this earth and we're trying to figure out what works best for. But in this book, so much of Ariel's like self-worth was tied into her eating without there being a conversation that her self-worth shouldn't be tied into her eating. I didn't like it. It wasn't done properly at all. And if this book is a young adult book, especially because you guys are telling me that these kids are actually not in college, they're in high school, I don't like this. I didn't like this at all. It also like glorified Ariel like losing weight, like that's the accomplishments, that is the goal, that she was able to lose weight. And I'm just like, there's a better way to do this without it seeming like we are telling the kids that, like, if you have a bad day and you just like, I want to eat, that's like the worst thing in the world. And also, like, when you're able to strictly monitor what you're eating, that means you're doing well. You have discipline. That's the thing. Deciding what people's discipline is based on what they're able to eat, I don't like that. I don't like discipline being aligned with eating. There's just eating disorder. Like, they literally just showed us both ways that Ariel has an eating disorder. And it's not talked about. It's not talked about that Ariel needs to get her eating disorder under control. Yeah, that imagine my shock too just now. That was some I forgot your name, sorry. They said in the comments at the top that, like, yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, they just like, and I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here? So that's a big thing that rubbed me the wrong way about this book, because like I just didn't like the way that was handled. And I'm just like, what's going, and this is Heather, this is why I expected a resolution, especially because she goes out to eat with her friend not long after that. Literally, I think in the next Ariel chapter, she goes out to eat and she orders a salad. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have a conversation about like extreme binge eating and then also extreme like depravity. No, it never happens. It never happens, this conversation where Ariel needs to like figure something. No, it doesn't happen. It just gets dry. I'm just like, okay, this is what we're telling the kids. Like, this is what we're telling the kids. Like, hey, you can get everything you want if you stop eating. Yeah, nobody even comes to check on her. And that brings me to another thing. The main thing that doesn't work about this book, you guys, the romance didn't work for me in this book at all. The romance didn't work. What does Ariel, I always say this whenever people are talking about romance books, because I feel like no one wants to just ask a blank question. What does Ariel like about Trey? What does Ariel like about Trey? It's never explained in this book. We meet Trey, and Trey is popular. Trey is attractive, all of this stuff. But what is there to like about Trey? Like, what exactly is making Ariel gravitate towards Trey? It's nothing, nothing, nothing. Not, like, there's no moment of Trey having just this deep, like these deep, vulnerable, like, whoa, we have this amazing chemistry, this work. It's not there. So what is left is me assuming that just because Trey is popular, she wants to be with him. And that goes back to the eating disorder thing. That goes back to Ariel being fat and no longer fat. Ariel likes what Trey represents to her life. Once again, what are we teaching the youth? Trey represents something to her life. Trey is popular. Trey is attractive. Trey would never want her. And to have people in the book constantly telling her that Trey would never want her. And so it just seems like she's chasing something, to prove that this type of guy would like her. But it's just like, it doesn't matter if he would like you, because Ariel, we've seen all the good things about you. You are literally helping his family save their bookshop. He has a reason to like you. You're artistic. You're doing all of this stuff. Like he has, like we've seen why he should be attracted to you, but why should you be attracted? What has Trey done for you? What has Trey shown you that would make him just so like, I need to be with Trey? And then it gets to the point where she's like, I'm in love with Trey. And I'm just like, what has Trey done? What has Trey, he sang? He sang. That's it. That's literally it. There's no, and to furthermore, y'all been spending this time together. He doesn't even believe you when you say that his girlfriend locked you in a classroom. Like, you got some reason to fucking lie. He doesn't even believe you with that. So it's like, once again, why do you like Trey? Like, what is going on here? And just felt like, because you got the fat, nobody wants her girl, loser girl, dweeb girl, and she just wants to be with this guy. And I'm just like, I don't like the dynamics here, friends. I don't like the dynamics. At every turn. Sorry. At every turn, anytime that he could be rude to her or misunderstand her or not treat her well, that is what he was going to do. That's what. Thank you. Yes, this is what we teaching the girls. Like, hey, a guy is going to make you feel better about yourself and make you, and it's just like, real quickly in my complaints, because I have another complaint too, is my third biggest complaint. Real quick in my complaint, Trey's parents, number one, why did they owe so much money? I'm not victim blaming. Why did they owe $50,000? Did y'all feel like the price went up and up and up and up and up? I thought when they did that party, the first party, and they made like $2,000, I said, ooh, we should be about ready to pay the mortgage. Little did I know. I was like, ooh, y'all made $2,000. That might cover half the mortgage. The parents should at least have the other half, right? And then before you know it, they needed more money. So I said, okay. They start selling a little bit of stuff. I said, we should be almost ready to pay the mortgage. No. They started GoFundMe, people donating. I say yes. They putting the videos on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm just like, they should have the money. And then somebody finally tells us they owe 50 fucking grand. I said, now hold up. Kenya wouldn't have went down. I would have told him to sell it. If I knew they owed 50 grand from the start of this book, I would have told him to sell this damn thing, because clearly somebody is bad at finances. I feel like it just don't. The daddy said we a couple months behind on the mortgage. I thought that was $8,000. $8,000. That's what I thought. I didn't know they owed $50,000. So now I think the parents have poor financial skills and they don't need this bookshop. They got poor financial skills. They don't need this bookshop. And then everybody walks into the bookshop and says the bookshop is dated. So y'all also not good business owners. So no one's trying to keep up. Nobody thought to go spy on the commercial bookstore to see what they got going on that's keeping people coming in there. Why are y'all coming up with all this stuff as kids? And these grown adults, the ones who should be running the business and care so much about the business, why are they not doing any of this stuff? And then it kind of pissed me off how mad the mama got when somebody left a tap on and they was mad at Trey because he threw this party. I thought it was when Trey said why he threw the party to raise money, I thought it was going to be one of those things where they were going to say like, oh, Trey, this isn't your responsibility. Like, oh, and the mama was going to feel bad. Like, my son is literally trying to throw sketchy ass parties in order to pay this mortgage. No, the mama's still fucking pissed. And I'm just like, wait a minute. You and your husband don't know how to run a business. Y'all don't know how to keep the business up to date. Y'all not paying y'all bills and y'all $50,000 in debt. And you blaming your son because he was trying to do something as you guys have tried to do nothing? Yeah, the parents pissed me off too. Didn't like them in it either. And this is going to bring me to my next thing. And hold up. And I was with her on this. Zero employees. Trey ain't never had no money. So they can't be paying him that much either. 0 employees, and y'all owe this much money. How much is the mortgage? At some point, yeah, it's time to sell. I hate gentrification more than the next person. But at some point, it's time to sell. 0 employees. Y'all, how much behind on the rent to owe $50,000? Come on. And they needed all 50 of theirs. They got to the point where they have 43,000 in the GoFundMe, and they said that's not enough. We need that 7. I'm like, is y'all that broke? Y'all need all 50 of on. Like, it was just becoming unserious. I didn't care about the bookshop. But Monty just said that when Ariel got locked in the room, he left. I am going to agree, you guys, because I should have changed my name from Kenya to Justice for Blair. Justice for Blair. Did Blair deserve to get her nigga stolen? Did Blair deserve to get her man stolen? I think the answer is no. Blair was a bitch like everybody else is a bitch in high school. Maybe it's the adult in me. Everybody sucks in high school. And nobody is their worst moment in high school. High school, it is dog eat dog. Everybody is trying to survive, baby. Did Ariel, like, if the roles were reversed, and let's say Blair was nice, would you feel bad for Blair? Yes, you would. So because Blair is mean, she deserves to be emotionally cheated on. When Blair put her plan into action, I was fully on Blair's side, because the whole book, I was like, Blair, fight back. Blair, you gonna have to fight back. Because this girl is trying to steal your man from under you. And author of this book, there is kind of a rule in cheating. A rule in cheating romance, by the 150 page mark, the couple has to be broken up. The couple has to be broken up for me to root for the couple. That is my rule. By halfway through the book, the couple has to be broken up. If we go the whole book and the couple is still together and y'all emotionally cheating on the side, I officially become part of the resistance. I am now a part of the resistance. I am on Blair's side. I do not want you guys to be together. I don't, because now you guys are an evil force. You guys are a force for evil, and I cannot root you on. So I was on Blair's side. I was just like, yeah, lock her in the room. Lock her in, because she's playing funny ass games, and she knows she liked this boy. First of all, imagine, your boyfriend hasn't given you a birthday gift. Anybody's going to talk about Trey not giving her a birthday gift? He forgot her birthday, and we supposed to think Trey is a good person. Oh, okay. So Blair doesn't get a birthday gift. He sings her a song. Y'all know how I feel about music and books. Knock it off. So he sings her a song. He steals a rose from his friend's bouquet because the friend didn't forget about the other twin birthday. So he forgot about my birthday. He was dancing on another girl at the party, was arguing with me at the party he threw for me. That's not what he did that for. And so then he finally wants to make it up to me, and he takes me to a place that he knows you're going to be at. And I go to this place, and you selling cards, and everyone's like, Blair, look for you a card. That pissed me off. When she was selling them cards, and I think it was Bugs was like, Blair, pick you out a card. We all should buy a card. I shouldn't shit because y'all been playing in my fucking face for the past month. I shouldn't shit. And I wanted Blair to knock over the whole stand. I wanted her to knock over the whole damn stand. But she doesn't do that because she has class and integrity. But she looks through her funky ass cards, and this bitch has the audacity to have a picture of my man and her holding hands. And I'm supposed to sit here and take that shit on the chin. Like, can we really discuss how Blair kept it cute? Blair kept it, locking her in that room was literally the least she could have done, because she should have punched Ariel in her fucking face. But just because Ariel is just so sad and poor me and her dad dead, we supposed to be on her side, is not happening. It's not happening. I was team Blair. Blair had a horrible boyfriend. And yeah, Blair was a bitch. But is anybody being nice to Blair? Yes, Blair is a bitch. There are things she should not have said. But like, nobody else is running around here just being so nice. Ariel trying to steal her man, and Trey forgot her whole birthday and is emotionally cheating on her and doesn't hang out with her and doesn't do anything with her and is mean to her and is constantly talking about how much he like something about her he doesn't like. What? No, I'm Team Blair. Thank you. Blair was the only one acting like life. Like, this is life. Like, Blair was fighting for her life. Like I said, Blair was at that lunchroom table being rude as shit. When she said something about Blair, when he said, like, something she said, and I said, that is so fucking rude. But Blair was fighting for her life. She knew somebody was infiltrating on her territory. And so she was fighting for her life. But Trey sucked. Trey was a horse. There's a moment in the book where Blair literally tells Trey that he's not around. She literally tells Trey that Trey is being a horrible boyfriend, and like that's why she's acting the way that she's acting, or that's why shit is happening. And we're still supposed to deeply dislike Blair. Trey was playing with her. And so Trey is full on emotionally cheating. He knows he likes Ariel. Ariel knows she like, oh, I didn't even tell you. Ariel tried to kiss her boyfriend. When are we going to acknowledge Ariel's a bad person? When are we going to acknowledge a bad person? Because if I don't put Blair in the bad person, Blair's being a child, and Ariel's like, in what world should I pull for Ariel more than I should pull for Blair? That's the thing about this book, why I said the romance completely crumbled for me, because it's just like, you've not shown me any reason why I should root for Ariel in this love triangle over Blair. Like, Ariel tried to, the only reason why they didn't kiss is because Trey suddenly decides to be a good boyfriend, and Trey stops them from kissing. But Ariel full well wanted Trey to cheat on his girlfriend. And you surprised this bitch locked you in a classroom? Are you shocked? And then another thing, this is just me being me, I didn't give a damn that Blair didn't care about saving that bookshop, because fuck that bookshop. Fuck that bookshop. I didn't want to save the bookshop either all that goddamn much. Like, so like, I didn't care. And then would Ariel have cared so much about saving that bookshop if, number one, she wasn't in love with Trey for no damn reason, and if she didn't work there? So acting like Ariel just cares so damn much because like she just has such a giving heart. Like, that's not how this was set up. That's not how this was set up. Like, she worked at the bookshop and she always had a crush on Trey. So yeah, she was gonna care more than the average Joe. But like, everybody else caring got something. Did Boogs just care so goddamn much? Like, he was throwing a birthday party for his girlfriend, and so that's why they was saving the book club. But he didn't give a damn about them books, and he showed it when he let everybody trash the bookstore. Somebody left it. He didn't give a damn about the bookstore either. But Blair has to be nailed to the cross for this bookstore, even though Trey even acknowledges he's a horrible boyfriend and doesn't spend any time with her. And only I do not have to care about your parents' bookstore. And then the thing is like, oh, you don't listen to my problems. When did we got Trey chapters? When was Trey trying to see what was going on with Blair problems? I'm sure Blair got problems. I'm sure Blair got issues. When did Trey give a fuck about Blair's issues? He didn't care. The only person issues he cared about was Ariel's issues, and he barely cared about Ariel's issues. So I did not root on this romance in any way because I thought Trey was horrible. I thought Ariel was moving skeezy as hell. And when she got locked in that classroom, she got exactly what she deserved. It's about time somebody play too. Blair wanted to play too. It was time for her to play a couple games too, because you literally tried to kiss her boyfriend. You literally tried to kiss her boyfriend. You literally had a card of her boyfriend. Can you imagine? Can you imagine your boyfriend who forgot your birthday, who you was arguing with, who ain't been spending no time with you, who also didn't want to have sex with you, who like act like you was the most disgusting thing in the world? He was watching a movie instead of having sex. So he's already being really weird, making you feel like you're weird. You already think, and oh, by the way, everyone thinks that they went on a date together because they did. They went on a date when they went to the movies with the brothers, right? So you already hearing through the grapevine that some like this girl wants your man. And so you go to the cards and you see your man and her holding hands in some picture, and you supposed to just take that shit on the chin. And the thing is, Blair did take that shit on the chin. She went home and she started plotting, as you should. So I was on Blair's side. I didn't want her to end up with Trey because, like, what does Trey got going on? Trey is broke. Trey doesn't give birthday gifts. Trey, all this stuff. Like, Trey work at a bookstore that's gonna go under. Because, like, what else is gonna keep this bookstore afloat? That's another thing about this book. How many real changes did they make to this bookstore? They put a mural up, which, like, cute. I like the idea of having a mural of Black authors. I thought the mural was very, very cute. But like, how much is a book? Like, especially because throughout the entire book, they kept talking about how like nothing they doing is saving this bookstore. So the bookstore is gonna go under. It's gonna go under. And so I'm just like, Trey ain't got shit going for himself. So Ariel, have fun. Have fun with him, Ariel. You're getting exactly what you deserve. Thank you. That's why Ariel said like nothing happened, nothing, nah, 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 nah. And I didn't like Ariel. I'm sorry. I just don't think Ariel as a character is. Oh, another thing, y'all don't think Ariel had more chemistry with that Books character than she ever had with Trey? That's another thing. It didn't seem like Trey liked Ariel. It did not. It did not seem like Trey actually like Ariel. Just seemed like a charity case, bruh. She seemed like a charity case, bro. You guys, I have a niece, a little niece. She's literally like this tall, and she loves saying "bruh." So now "bruh" is my new thing. Like she'll be, she was eating a burger and she wanted some ketchup. She said Auntie Keena, because that's what they call me Auntie Keena. She said Auntie Keena, can you get me some ketchup, bruh? And I'm just like, what? What? So like, bruh is my new thing, but like, no. What did she like about him, bruh? Like, it just no, no. Thank you. That was the real relationship, them bonding over art, him calling her little mermaid. Like that's the most chemistry I got in any of this book. So it's just like no, 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 no. Because what they got going on, what they got, what does any what is any what is this relationship built on except Ariel just being deeply, deeply insecure? I didn't like it. I know. I like Bugs. I would actually like to see Bugs, and then the thing about Blair is such like stock villain. That's why I wanted her to get written out of the book. Like I'm just like, why are we holding on to? Ooh, and if I really want to get nasty, why did Trey have sex with what's her name with Blair, knowing he wasn't really feeling her no more? I don't like that. I don't like that. He was playing with Blair emotions, and I really don't like something about that is also problematic. Problematic. Didn't like that. What is this? Is there something that the youth are watching that's making them say like you guys? My niece is not even in school, so I don't know what she's watching that got her saying bruh. But like bruh, she's I was like what? It's and now I'm back to saying bruh like it's 2007. Like I'm bruh and everything. Like now because I get it. I get why the kids are saying it because really sometimes you really do just have to say bruh. Like what's going on? So yeah. Anyways, Ariel and Bugs probably should be together, but what Ariel really needs is maybe some therapy. Maybe some therapy. She needs to talk to a nutritionist when it comes to forming a healthy relationship with food. That's what needs to happen. But you guys, this book didn't work for me. And I just found out to be really, really sad because I wanted this book to work. I just didn't really love the writing. I thought some aspects of it were problematic. It also wasn't as like fun as it should have been. Like even coming in thinking like, oh, we're gonna save a bookstore. I just felt like a lot of the book was them complaining about what wasn't happening in the bookstore, what they should be doing, but there were these like getting the band together. That's my favorite thing in young adult books. When the band comes together, for a goal. I don't really think we got these moments where it's just like everybody's jiving, everybody's gelling. It felt like anytime this book would try to hit a stride, it would quickly like something would happen. Like even the party, oh, somebody left the taps on. Even the book club, oh, Trey's not gonna sing and the power went off, or getting on the news, like, oh, she gets locked in a classroom. Like it just never hit this like stride. Or even when like they're implementing all of this stuff, the book's still not selling. The book, nobody's still buying books. And oh, another thing, y'all didn't think that the developer was the one sabotaging them. After the taps got left on, the heat was broke, and the lights went out. I thought it was being sabotaged. I thought it was being sabotaged. I was like, y'all being sabotaged. I didn't know what was going on. So oh no, the daddy was sitting at home kicking his feet up. The daddy was sitting at home kicking his feet up. He didn't even think about starting a GoFundMe. He didn't think about, he had all these opinions on like not selling the bookstore. Because at least I would give the mama this. The mama ain't want shit to do with that bookstore, and she wanted her fucking money and agreed. But the daddy had all these opinions on what should happen in the bookstore, and yet he was kicking his feet up and wasn't doing shit to try to save the bookstore. So I don't know. Say like what happened to fun? What happened to a little bit of fun? A little bit of whimsy that somebody is sabotaging the bookstore. Okay, whatever. whatever. Like, wouldn't that, like, I thought that was going to be an element. I was like, there's no way, like, everything is just going wrong. Somebody just happens to leave the tap on and it floods. The lights are out. The heat is out. No, I was like, yeah. And then the seller kept coming back. So I'm just like, y'all being sabotaged. Every time he come, he doing something. No, we don't get that. We don't get that. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. So this one wasn't fully for me, which is sad. But we're moving on to Pardon My Frenchie, which I hope this one works. I hope this one works. Some of you guys in the comments have kind of convinced me I should watch the Grammys tonight. So maybe I will. Maybe I will for the video. Just for the video on Patreon. But if they playing Beyonce Face, I'm blaming y'all. I'm blaming y'all. Anyways, great talking to you guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.